Hi guys, how are you? It's Sunday. So I'm parked up out of Goodwill, and this is how I start the week, right? Off on a good slate after celebrating not shopping. But here's the thing. My mom has been saying that she really loves butter yellow and she wants to get a blazer in butter yellow. So I'm actually just here to shop for my mom. Okay, for my mom. Okay, so let's just go in and see what's there. I also want to just film what's in the thrift store. It's been pretty crowded these days, so I think everybody's finding out about thrifting, so which means sometimes the pickings are gonna be even much slimmer, but we'll see what we see. Okay, all right, let us go thrifting. The color of the week in Goodwill is yellow. So if we find anything with a yellow label, we get 50% off. While I was in the thrift store, I decided, you know what, let me see if I can find any of the 2026 trends just to see if we can shop here for our trendy pieces. So of course I'm in the blazer aisle because that's primarily what I was looking for. This color came close to what I was looking for. It's a J. Crew blazer. All the blazers are like $7.49, but this one, you could see this got a lot of wear, so I did not pick that one up. I went ahead and just perused all the blazers, saw some interesting one. I don't know that I saw any that was really reaching out to me, but you know, when you're in the thrift store, you have to kind of look through. I love this color combination. It's really pretty. I think that would be perfect for spring. This gray blazer was actually the best blazer I saw while I was looking. I really love that style with that rounded collar, the big black buttons. The back has a high split almost to the middle of the back. This is very classy. And then I came across this white kind of, would you call this like a bolero? Yes, bolero style, and that was cute. This is a nice shirt. It's more of a jacket, like a shirt jacket. I think this is perfect for spring. This is actually my second time seeing this kind of checked blazer, and I do love the colorway. It's okay, but I do love it. The colors kind of speak to me. That was it for the blazers, really. And then I went over to the pants. I saw these butter yellow pants, but it's a denim, not quite the size for my mom, so I passed on it. Then I started to see the trends, and I was like, okay, here is the animal print kind of floral skirt, not floral, but flirty skirt that is kind of trending, and I saw different ways you could style it. Then polka dot is also in for spring, so I also saw this really nice polka dot skirt, which would have been really nice, and it's White House Black Market. All the skirts I believe are $6.49, so they're not too bad. I also came across this animal print. This one was more in a denim kind of material, so I'm popping up inspirations on the side of how, if you were to get these, how you would dress them. I went back to the pants section and I saw this red pants. Red is also a color that's trending for spring, you know, something in this bright cherry red. So this pants was actually really nice. I couldn't tell what brand it was. It looks kind of vintage, made in LA, so that was kind of cool. Then another thing that's trending is belts, and so I saw these belts on the belt rack and they were in pretty good shape. I really do like that animal print. I think it's more of a snake print that would really look good, and you see the inspiration of how they did all four belts of different color, and I thought that was really cute. So it's something that you could definitely do over. If you were to buy those belts retail, you'd spend so much money, and each of these belts were like $2.99. Again, we are seeing pops of red. You know, at the thrift store, it's kind of a jumbled place, so they don't put out anything that's trending. So to find red and to find cheetah print and to find polka dots, you can tell that it doesn't really rely on trends for you to see the pieces. The pieces are always around, and that's particularly why I'm not too much into trends. Every trend that comes around, I go into my closet for the pieces that I already have in those particular trends. The shoe section wasn't too bad. I saw this Franco Sarto loafers. Loafers are a big deal, and if this was my size, this is probably the only thing that tempted me to purchase, but this was like a 9.5. It's a perfect blue. It's a great brand. I mean, it's in good condition. $9.99. That's a steal. Here we go again with a snake print bag. The condition was relatively okay. A pop of red. These are some nice Aldo shoes. Actually, really nice if you ask me. They're in really good condition. Kind of high. So if you're gonna buy this shoe, you better can walk in this. My kind of style, but definitely wasn't looking for that. So we move on. These Zara boots were nice. I do like that square toe. That's kind of what's trending as well. As you see how this person dressed it, really nice and classic. Of course, we're getting into spring and summer, so the wedges are going to come out. So of course, I saw this one from A New Day. Now let us talk about the jersey trend. And this is something that I really love. It's like an athleisure chic kind of thing. I don't own a jersey, but I think I would try that style. This was the one thing that I might have walked out of the store with had the line not been so big, or long rather. This tie was interested because it was like a felted material. I perused around a little bit more to see what was going on. Saw these dining chairs. They were in good condition, and I like the brown and the green. Then I saw these mini tasters thingy. Another trend is windbreaker. So if you have your windbreakers from way back then, pull it out. Now is the time to shine. This was the only thing in yellow that I really saw, and this wasn't the butter yellow, it was a brighter yellow, but it was cute. So that was a quick unsuccessful for my mom, but successful for me because I walked out empty-handed. You see what I saw, and I think I'm gonna just talk through what I'm showing you anyway. So I would say overall not that impressed with the findings. But you know, thrifting is as such, and that's why I don't just plan to go one day and then thrift, because you never know what you're gonna find. Some days you go and you're just not gonna find anything, and then other days you're gonna go and you're gonna see too much, which is why most thrifters just thrift often, because maybe one or two trips you find something, but sometimes most of the trips you don't find anything. But I hope you enjoyed that, and let me go home and get some rest, okay? So it's the next day, and I am at Dulles Town Center Mall. Yes, you guessed it. And I actually just had an order. I'll explain in a little while. But yeah, I was walking through Bath and Body Works and just looking to see if I saw any deals. I had to pick up an order actually, and so I wanted to walk around the mall. So I'm gonna go into a few stores, because while I was doing the Goodwill shopping or eye shopping yesterday, you know, I was just thinking about the entire shopping situation, and there is a conversation being had about shopping and how it's no longer fun. We'll talk more on that too. I'm in the mall, but it's not what you think. It's a little bit of what you think. Well, actually, what happened was I ordered a few of the wallflower fragrance, because I really like that in my home, and I usually order them in bulk when they're having like specials, and I don't know how I ran out. I missed my way. I don't know how I ran out. So they were having buy two get two. That was the best deal they had, and I really needed some, so I just ordered that, and I had a free gift offer for a travel size set, so I decided to get a lotion. So that's what I picked up. But since I'm here in this dead mall, let's see what's trending in the mall and if there's any good sales going on. We'll see. This was a cute setup for Easter. You could take family portraits. I really like that. That was cute. First store I stopped into was Express, and I was looking at their window display, and underwhelming. I saw these florals, and I get that it's spring, but why is it not giving me any life? It feels dead. It feels really uninteresting. I think it maybe needed some yellow or something, but it's too muted for me. Here we go again with the animal print. I do not like this type of animal print. I prefer the ones that are kind of browner and black rather than this beigey. It just looks fake. And they're selling this for $98. And I think this is what people have a problem with at the mall that they're going into these fast fashion stores and they're selling it for these obscene amount of money. And especially for a person like me that thrifts and finds quality pieces for less than $10 a piece, like this I can, it's hard for me to adjust for that. So usually when I go into these stores, I head straight to the clearance rack because those are the only prices that make sense. Now you're seeing me showing you the entire space of the store, and except for the clearance section, the colors, it's not giving spring, it's giving very neutral. I know everybody is kind of into the neutral aesthetic, except for the screen. The screen was pretty. I couldn't find the price, but the green was pretty and the material felt really nice. But anyways, I think everybody likes this neutral aesthetic, so all the colors were literally behind on this clearance rack, which this clearance rack is usually pretty good if you can find pieces, because apart from the markdown prices, they add another 20% discount, so I feel like you could find something. And they have the male section over there and then the female section over here. But yeah, so I will probably talk a little bit more about this, but I realize that there's a lot of talk on social media that they're not enjoying the shopping experience because they're not finding anything that's exciting. And I think part of it is our fault. Like, we're so into trends and we're so into overconsumption that we want all the things, and at some point you're going to run out of stuff like to want. Like, everything you're going to see, you're going to have. Anyways, I went into Ann Taylor, and this first blazer, now this is a piece. And this is why when I see Ann Taylor pieces in the thrift store, I grab them with the quickness, especially if they're in good condition, because one thing Ann Taylor is going to do is give you some really nice tailored pieces, hence the name. That colorway is so perfect. That's a blazer that will last a lifetime in your closet because you can pair it with so many things. I loved this sweater as well, like this blush pink and then the red and then the tan. I actually would use this as an inspiration to pair outfits in my closet, you know, just with those colorways with different pieces that I have. So I need to screenshot that because that colorway is everything. This is the kind of floral that I would like to see. It misses yellow. Like, if a floral doesn't have yellow, now I don't like the style. That's very grandma-ish, but I feel like if a floral piece doesn't have yellow, it's missing it for spring, you know? They had a pretty good sale in Ann Taylor as well. So if I was doing any shopping and I had a little coin to spend, I would probably go to Ann Taylor and go to the sale section because they have marked down these prices, plus you get an additional 50% off. So this is $49.88 marked down, and you're gonna get an additional 50%. So that skirt would be about $25. And that is very good for an Ann Taylor piece. Now, mind you, in a few weeks, they can probably donate it to the thrift store, and I'm going to get it for $6. So I'm just saying. But I know thrifting is not for everybody. So I get that they want to go into a store and feel like they, you know, can get the experience. But, you know, like, this mall was very empty. Like, nobody was shopping. Granted, it's a Monday, but there was a time when the mall used to be buzzing. And that's because, again, it's our fault because everything is at our fingertips. We can literally go online and order pieces. We don't have to do the chore of walking into a store. Furthermore, if you order something online and you get it and you try it and it doesn't fit, then you can return it. It just makes it so hassle free. So of course, yeah. And then let's talk about Shein and Temu. Like, the more, I feel like people are more into quantity versus quality, and that is our problem. But that's just my 2 cents. So there is a running conversation, I think, that's happening, and people are talking about the mall and how it's not fun to do in-person shopping anymore. And it's interesting, and my thought on that at first was like, I think you're just not looking in the right place. But I think I understand what's happening. I think we have so much access to so many things, and you know, it's right at the tip of our fingertips. We've been exposed to, there's so many. I probably have to sit down and talk about it, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is just because
I'm walking in the mall, and I understand. Because I'm walking in the stores, and even though I know I'm not shopping, I'm not tempted to shop. Normally, I have to resist so hard, and fight the feeling to shop because there's so many things, and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. But it's not like that. Like there are not things there, but it's just like, I can pass, you know.
Anyway, I think I've said my piece on this whole shopping conversation. I went into H&M. There we go again. Polka dots. And then there's lace. Lace is something else that's trending. And I like lace. I don't have a lot of it, but I think that's a cute trend I would like to try. More animal print. This bomber style jacket is also something that's trending, especially with the bubble hem. Then I went into Marshalls, and Marshalls is just a fancier idea of a thrift store. Like this literally looks like a thrift store. Everything is just so jumbled and just so basic and just so, and basic is I maybe shouldn't have used that word because the thrift store is not basic, but you know what I mean. Like look at everything. It's not neatly put together. I don't remember Marshalls being like this. I thought it was a little bit more, you know, but I scrimmaged through for a little while and nothing interesting, and the prices were indeed too high if you ask me. Not terrible, but also not great. So here you have it. This is what's going on out there in the shops, the stores, the mall. I would say it's nothing for you to be depressed about. I think we just need to change our mindset and stop over consuming, maybe. Be more intentional about what we're buying and where we're shopping. Be realistic and have fun with it. You can find something if you really look for it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Tell me, can you handle a girl like me? I am a handful.